Hey everyone, I'm at the Tesla Service Center right now. This is my first time with my Model 3. I want to see how they're going to address the one problem I have with my car right now, and we're going to see if we can fix the alignment on my trunk. I'll let you know how it goes. Let's see it. Alright, so I just got done at the Tesla Service Center. I'm now in my loaner vehicle, and as you can see, it's not a Tesla. More on that further on in the video. Before I share my experience, I want to clarify I'm not at all bagging on Tesla. I'm not trying to give them a bad name or anything. All I want to do is share my unbiased experience at what happened at the service center. When you arrive at the Tesla Service Center, you actually have to pull up in this line, or that's how it was over there, and they're called a service valet. I fell in line. There were about 2 customers ahead of me, and I went out of my car, and those 2 customers were being helped, and I was waiting for about 20 minutes. During those 20 minutes, unfortunately, I didn't even get asked if we'll be with you shortly or anything. They kind of stared at me. I kind of stared back. I had no idea what was going on. When a technician finally came up and said hello to me, we go ahead and address the issue in my car. I showed him the 2 alignments on my trunk, how they're a little crooked, how one's maybe not as flush as the other, one was raised, and he said we can go ahead and get those things done. To my understanding, he said if they're going to try to do it in-house first, see if they can fix alignment themselves, and if they weren't able to, they're going to go ahead and send it to, I guess, probably a body shop or someone else that they use that gets all the fitment and body fit issues. The technician did say they were getting a lot of Model 3s recently, just because there's a lot of more Model 3 owners, and 75% of most of the complaints had to do with the body issues and panel gaps and misalignments. Once we were done, we went ahead and the technician took me inside to the front desk to get all the paperwork done. Once I was there, we signed more papers for the loaner car, and as well as the paperwork for the service, and it was covered under warranty, of course, so that's super nice. Once I was done with paperwork, he said he was going to go ahead and sign me up with the loaner specialist. As far as the loaner car goes, I was able to go ahead and wait in the waiting room. They had nice refreshments, a few snacks available. Waited for about 5 minutes. The loaner specialist came up to me and said, "We have a Nissan Armada waiting for you." And I said, "Okay, is there any other car maybe that's available?" And he said, "Or go ahead and give someone a call to see what they have." I was very surprised because I thought I'd be getting a Tesla Model S, X, or 3. From every other Tesla owner I've talked to, they have gotten a Tesla each time for their loaner vehicle. I waited for about another 10 minutes, and he went ahead and came over to me and said, "We were able to find another vehicle for you." And I had my fingers crossed, and he said, "It's a Chevy Impala. Is that going to work for you?" At that point, I said, "Okay, yeah, let's go ahead, get that thing done. Let's go ahead and get all the paperwork." I went ahead and asked the guy that a lot of my other fellow owners with Teslas, they've gotten a Tesla every single time as a loaner vehicle. This is my first time seeing a non-Tesla, or a gas car, I guess, given out as a loaner vehicle. And he basically said with the customers growing their loaner fleet, they simply did not have enough, so they had to contract with Enterprise rental company for more vehicles for the customers. Every time I got a loaner car from BMW, it was always a BMW, and usually it was an upgrade from my car. This was probably to woo me in upgrading to different options and have me experience the car, which was a very smart marketing strategy in my opinion. Also, all the vehicles were probably under 3,000 miles. They were very brand new, and I think that's so they can go ahead and once it's out of the loaner fleet, they can go ahead and resell it for a little cheaper price. When we walked up to the car, it was actually dirty, and I was very surprised because from my previous experience, loaner cars were usually super nice, just very clean, very detailed. Everything about it just seemed like a brand new car. Once I got in the car, he wrote down the mileage, and it was actually about 40,000 miles on this car, so it is a little older. He told me the key's already plugged in, which I wasn't used to, of course, with Model 3 key being your phone. And just looking around, just very different experience from what I'm used to with previous loaner cars. I asked if I had to return the car with a full tank, because I know that's how some other loaner cars worked, or they would charge you a fee, and he did say he is upset once again that they had to give me a car with an engine and Tesla would reimburse me if I had the receipt for any gas. I do have to admit, I am a little disappointed with the whole loaner car experience at Tesla. I know a few owners that if they were offered any ICE cars or internal combustion engines, they would say no and they would find an alternative ride. This is just because, you know, whole zero emissions. I needed a car personally to get me from point A to point B, but I am a little disappointed. Hey everyone, so it's been 2 days since I last had my car, and as you can see, the Model 3 is back. So I'm going to tell you what happened over the last few days and if they fixed the problem. So over the last 2 days, communication with Tesla has been just a little bit spotty. They said they would update me via text message or a phone call to let me know the progress of my car. Once again, my problem was just alignment on the rear liftgate, just a little bit off, and they said with these issues, sometimes if I dropped it off in the morning, which I did, you could get it later in the day, possibly, but most likely 1 to 2 days. On the first day, I was waiting for Tesla to contact me. Unfortunately, they didn't send me any text message or give me a call, so I actually called them myself. And they said you could do this at any time to check the status of your vehicle, and they notified me that my car wasn't even in service yet. It was still waiting in line. They did say it was a possibility that it would be ready the next morning. They do have a night shift that works at night until 1 a.m. to work on cars. Tesla Service Center closes, but they still have technicians working. So I decided to track that using my phone app, see if they opened my trunk or if any of the doors were open. And I was checking periodically throughout the night, and nothing was open or anything, so I don't think they worked on it that night. I was confirmed the next day, where I called the next morning because they said they would let me know by 10 a.m. when they opened the update, any status, and once again I had to call, and they said once again my car is still in line, still waiting to be serviced, and I decided to just wait a little longer. I called towards closing time on the second day now, a little towards 5 p.m. They didn't really give me a call when the ETA of the vehicle would be, or give me a text message of when it would be done. I think just because they didn't even know yet. So when I called, they said once again, it still hasn't even been in service yet. And I didn't understand that because I scheduled my service time the previous day at 10 a.m. thinking it could be worked on that day and the second day, and it hasn't even been worked on yet, so I could have had my car for 2 more whole days. I continued to track the car throughout the night to see if they were working on it, if the night shift was working on it, and once again the trunk wasn't open, no doors were open, so I don't think they were working on it just quite yet. Towards 7 a.m. on the third day, I opened the Tesla app, and what do you know, my trunk was open, some of the doors were open, and I saw the location on the app. It was finally in the Tesla service building. I got an update about an hour later saying my car would be ready with the wash, all washed, ready to go at 10:15. I got there at 11:30 and they said I have to wait 20 more minutes. The car is still being cleaned. But you know what? It's a free wash. I was just excited to get my car back. Unfortunately, when I got my car, the alignment seemed to be actually a little worse. The right side was more the problem side and the left side wasn't as bad. So it looked like they focused on the right side because the right side, the alignment was a little straighter and it wasn't as dipped in, but now the left side, it got way more screwed up. There's now an alignment problem that wasn't there before as much. It's a lot more pronounced, and the left trunk actually sticks above, definitely not flush anymore, by a couple millimeters. It's definitely very noticeable. Someone even asked me if my trunk was open. contacted Tesla right away, and they said they're so sorry. They don't even know how they got through inspection or quality control, I'm guessing. And they said, can you bring in the car again? And instead of going in-house, we'll try to go to their own body shop, see if the fitment guy can try to get it fixed. But they would need my car for about 2 weeks. That's something I couldn't do. I had to go back to school. So then he did leave a note for next time I visited the service center that we would have that problem, and he promised we would get it fixed. Once again, he was very apologetic, very sincere, very sorry that this even happened and we're having to deal with it. Tesla is very customer service oriented, so they wanted to make sure I had the best experience possible. Right now, I think they are bombarded by how much service they do need. That's why they did give me a gasoline loaner car. I think a lot of Model 3s are coming in with body fitment issues, and they can't keep up with the demand right now. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I know I promised a comparison video real soon between the Model 3, the Model X, and the Tesla Model S. So once again, please be patient with me. It's coming out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I'll see you next video.